Gordon. Private Patreon stream and all that. First question I got immediately was best Kirby power. And the answer is, damn, that's a really hard question. I mean, fuck, man. That.
Are we saying in Superstar or all Kirby games?
Like, in Superstar, I don't know. I like Jet a lot. Jet was one of them I hated as a kid, but then was like, oh man, this actually totally rules, but it's impossible to use, and that kind of is one of the reasons it owns. It's like wildly unpredictable. Would you do another Drunk Punch-Out Wii stream? If I did, it actually would just not be able to be drunk. Like, I tried some of the world fights, and I was having more than enough trouble with them sober. And as much as it may seem like it, and I do enjoy the joke, I don't get, like, ridiculously good at video games when I'm drinking, because no one does. It's not a real thing. So, yeah, no, I could not maintain that for the world title fights in particular.
Never tried Punch-Out Wii. I heard it was really good.
It's really good. It's a shitload of fun, and it emulates okay, except for Doc Brown in cutscenes, for some reason. This is SNES Superstar, just because SNES emulators are better. They're just way better.
What does DS Superstar even have that the Super Nintendo one doesn't? I think it's got like an extra minigame?
Yeah, it's got like one or two little modes. I think it's got like a different kind of arena. I can't even remember. It's not significant. And it's got like Meta Knight mode, which is just sword all the time mode. So like, whatever. Yeah, it's got True Arena, which is like, eh.
I know the Kirby's Adventure GBA re-release also had Meta Knight mode.
That one is really good in comparison.
But that one was really hard too, because I think you only had... Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of something else. There was a mode where you only had one maximum health. But yeah, stuff.
Yeah, the Kirby Superstar one for DS is fine, but like, it's not much different from the game. As opposed to, oh no! You fuck! Oh, this is why I never have helpers. The thing is, though, is like, there's not as much to improve. Whereas, like, as much as I still love Kirby's Adventure for the NES, it has a lot of problems in that it was, like, one of the last games made for the NES, and it was totally busted. So, like, there's really nasty slowdown problems all the time. There's just a lot of issues with the game. And it's got, you know, NES graphics, which are fine enough, but, like, they actually didn't just port it. They did full remasters of all the graphics and everything. Like, it looks really good.
Yeah.
So the Game Boy Advance one of that is great. The game's awesome.
I very briefly played Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, which was kind of like a Castlevania style or Metroid style exploration platformer thing. I didn't really like it though.
No, that's one of the weaker titles. I mean, I've heard people who say they think this is the worst Kirby, and they're very wrong. But
what?
Yeah, I know. And these are like Let's Players who think they have good opinions, but I'm sorry, you couldn't be more wrong. This is, if this isn't in your top 3 Kirby games, I don't see how you could be real. Because there are some other really good ones, like the Wii one in particular is exceptional. That's one of those games that just like totally surprised me. And it's kind of also a case of the Wii one is basically Kirby Superstar 2, which is why I like it so much.
That's not Epic Yarn, is it?
No, not that one. Even though I do love Epic Yarn, and Epic Yarn is one of the best getting high games ever. That game is so good, Blaze. Not that I would know, because I never did a drug. But if I did do a drug a lot in college, then I definitely would have said that game owns. And definitely recommend it highly to one of my stoner friends who was like looking for games to buy so he could play it with like his, niece and nephew or whatever, the real youngins. And I was like, yeah, play that. I'm sure the kids will like it. And then when you're really high, you're gonna have an awesome time. And he even said very specifically, it's like, at first I didn't like get it. I was like, I don't know, man, this is kind of lame. Like, I can't really die. It's kind of cute, I guess. And he's like, and then I got super stoned and it was the best fucking game. I'm like, yeah, yeah, it is. It's just cute and joyful and there's never really danger. So like, even when you fuck up, it's just like, oh man, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's super good. It's super good. But no, I'm talking about Return to Dreamland, which is exceptional, because it is literally just Superstar 2. One of the biggest things that kind of defines an exceptional Kirby game versus like a pretty okay one, I guess, is the way powers function. Mostly in that the games that I consider like exceptionally good-ass Kirby games universally will follow the rule that each power has like a ton of moves to go with it. It's not a one-to-one thing. It's not like you press a button and one thing happens. That's totally lame. And that's what a lot of them are. Like Kirby 64, that's why I remember as a kid being really disappointed because I fucking love Superstar. And then 64 came out. I'm like, yeah, you can combine powers. This is gonna rule. And then it's like, oh, just kidding. You only get to use, each thing. Like, each thing only has one actual, associated thing with it. And I was like, oh, this is terrible. And I was right.
Like, 64, I felt kind of... I think it was kind of really slow even for a Kirby game.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, what you mentioned.
Slidey. And, yeah, the whole, like, combining powers gimmick didn't really work. Just because it basically was just a lot of things that weren't fun to use. Like, there were a ton of things, but most of them were pretty bad. Also, the last boss in Return to Dreamland, I can't even remember what it was, honestly. Like, I played that game 100%, and I remember one thing is, like, getting 100% in that game kind of sucked. Mostly because you had to go do all those extra areas and fight the other things at the end. God, I can't, my words are terrible. But yeah, so like that's one reason I love Superstar and why I still think it holds up so well is every single power is basically a different control scheme and game, and that rules. Like, there's a reason that you can go to the screen that I apparently don't have mapped, or it's because I'm in a fight. But there's, like an entire control scheme, for each thing.
Right.
Have I played 3D? Which one is that?
Kirby 3D. Like the one for the 3DS? They make one?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Triple Deluxe. No, I have not. Is that for 3DS?
One thing you were mentioning earlier about the powers, going back to Amazing Mirror for a second, one thing I loved about that game was that Smash Brothers was basically one of his power-ups. Like, he got his whole Smash moveset when you ate Master Hand.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah. So you got the cutter, you get the Fighter Joe punch, you get the stone when you hold down, and it's all the same moveset, same mappings and everything. It's so cool.
That sounds really, really good.
But unfortunately, it didn't really...
Yeah, then it did all the weird, like, splitting into people and this magic phones and shit. Yeah, one thing I do love about Kirby, and one reason I'm, like, kind of a really big fan of the series, even though it's like, oh, it's a baby game for babies, which, like, you're right, and that owns. It seems to be the Nintendo property that they're willing to do the most experimentation with.
Yeah.
Like, they're really just willing to do whatever with Kirby, and It almost all turns, like, even a really bad Kirby game is still okay. You know, like, even the worst Kirby games, like, I really liked it, but I could see some people being pretty on, was it Rainbow Curse? The one that came out for the Wii U? Like, I still had a blast with it, but, you know, it was pretty different. I understand if a lot of people were like, oh, it's just a drawing game, or... One, I think I did see a lot of people say it was like the DS one, but like less good. I don't know. I think it's just they forgot how that game actually felt. But yeah, I could see some people not being behind that. But then also like Kirby did this game, and fucking Kirby's Adventure itself was like pretty weird for the time.
Yeah.
There also was the one that didn't get released in America, Kirby 3, which is the one that's like all storybook style.
Yeah, that one looked really nice.
It is. It's very pretty. Like, that's another, like, even from then, they were doing, you know, kind of clever and cute things with Kirb, that they wouldn't really do with other series. And then Epic Yarn, obviously, was, like, super creative.
They did that one game on, I think, the Game Boy Color with the gyroscope.
Yeah, Kirby's Tilt and Tumble.
Tilt and Tumble.
Yup, first game I ever ordered off the internet. God, what else? There were so many games. Oh, Air Ride.
They did a Kirby pinball too, I think, right?
Yep, I own that. There's also Kirby's Air Ride, which
I love City Trial.
Yup.
I love the shit out of City Trial. The game itself, not great.
It's okay. It's fun. I don't know if you saw, but there was an earlier time where we actually have managed to get that running internationally. 4-player on Dolphin.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
I've been thinking about doing that again because it is pretty fun. But I do get annoyed by all the comments of like, how do you make this work? And I don't just want to respond with, it's fucking complicated. But like, that is the answer. How do you make this work? It's really hard. But how? It's very difficult. But yeah. Oh yeah, and the SGDQ run of Kirby Tilt and Tumble is always a joy. Have you seen it?
Yeah, somebody mentioned in chat that they were tilting the actual GameCube.
Yeah, they use the GameCube with the Game Boy player. Yeah, because they like, it's really fucking obnoxious to capture one of their old ass Game Boys. Like, any Game Boy is a nightmare to capture, as it turns out.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a handle. It's what the GameCube is for, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect. God, GameCube was such a weird system. So weird. I feel like the GameCube was like the #1 system that people didn't know what it was supposed to be. Like, it didn't know what it was supposed to be either.
And it had a ton of weird games too. Like you had you had Odama, which was the pinball game that you controlled by screaming into your microphone.
Mm-hmm.
You had like the fucking... Oh, wait, no, Doshin the Giant, that came out for...
that was for the 64DD.
Yeah, but I think it did get released in Europe. But only Europe, like it never came out in America.
Oh.
But yeah, there were a ton of... It was... I remember the console itself was super cheap to the point where it was the only console of the 3 that they were actually making money off of sales.
That's another Nintendo thing. They don't seem to like pushing at a loss. Ever. But yeah, that, and also the GameCube happened to have one of the best games ever made for it. So that's good. It had Resident Evil 4. That was the original console it was on. And it had what was probably the definitive version until the Wii one came out. So
yeah,
good shit there. And I'm still waiting with bated breath for the people who are doing the fucking ridiculous HD texture mod for it. Because I don't know if you've seen the PC version, but like, it's okay.
They did 2 different releases for Resident Evil 4 on PC, I think, and the first one was fucking terrible. Like, it shipped without a lighting engine, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about like, the recent Steam one.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's okay. It's passable. It's incredibly okay. I have one problem with it, which is you can't switch between 60 and 30 FPS while you're playing, which sounds like the dumbest problem in the world, because it is. And oddly enough, the big problem I have with that is a lot of the dumb collision glitches and stuff you can do to skip huge parts of the game only work if you are in 30 FPS.
Oh, so they didn't bother programming any checks for that. It's just, whatever, double it.
Well, no. You can, like, switch between them, just, like, not saved. But the way it works is, like, the original game was always in just 30 FPS. So being able to play in 60 FPS is obviously lovely. Like, that's great. The problem is, if you're a huge turd and want to do these old glitches that used to work, which involve, like, one of them is standing on basically the very, very edge of this one platform, and you have to line it up just right, and you just toss Leon during a specific part of, like, his animation through a seam in the ground, and he just falls through. And it took me ages, and I could not get this fucking glitch to work, and I was like, Jesus, what is the deal? And then I switched to the 30 FPS, and it turns out, yeah, it's, because what it is during that cutscene, you actually manage to go fast enough that if you go to this one specific spot in the seam, like, your frames of animation, your hitbox, it's basically the bullet through paper problem in game development, is apparently what it's called. Yeah, so you do that with Leon. So you just go fast enough that you calculate, oh man, that sucks, someone can't see the stream. Like, I mean, I can't really do anything, but, so, like, Leon is on one side of it, and then the next frame, he is on the other side of it, and it's awesome. Yep. But it doesn't work at 60 FPS, and that makes me super sad, because obviously the game looks way better. That was a game I was actually working on speedrunning, because it's fun and good.
You should play through that again.
It's excellent. Myself and my old roommate Lyman actually played through it around once a year, at least, and we always switch versions. Like, I was always, hard up about using the GameCube controller, and then the classic controller I was also okay with. He was the first brave soul, on the Wii version. He was the first brave soul to actually use the Wiimote.
Oh.
He fucking loved it, man.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, he thought it was exceptional. I was like, wait, really? He's like, yeah, no, it works really, really fucking well. I'm like, bullshit. Like, I just, obviously I loved the Wii. I owned one, modded the hell out of it, had a great time with it. But I never was hot on motion controls. They were just never a thing that I was like, But apparently, apparently they did a really excellent job.
Mm-hmm. I love that you could have the knife just quick bound to the swipe on the remote.
Yeah.
Saves so much time.
Oh god, I got so exceptional at knifing in that game. Like, one of the most interesting speedrun tricks that's, like, kinda weird to use is... So, there's a thing in that game that no one uses because it doesn't seem like a very good thing, quite frankly. So it's, like, understandable. Is you can turn the camera with the C stick, which of course is double... Oh no, don't kill that yo-yo, you rat fuck. But like the little C nub, which is why nobody does it, is because the fucking C nub is terrible. But
yeah,
you can rotate the camera a little bit, which seems pretty worthless. And I mean, to be honest, in general, is. But it does do two things incredibly well. And those two things specifically are, if you use the camera to turn to the left and then pull out your gun to aim, you just snap 90 degrees. Like, you just immediately turn 90 degrees fully, really, really quickly. And if you actually do that twice, it's faster than turning around any other way. And also you can get really precise snap turns that way, which is awesome. And then the other thing that's even more strange, but even more useful when you're trying to play that game really quickly. Okay, so the AI in RE4 for the enemies is phenomenal. Like, it's really well done, and not like, I'm not saying like, oh man, they're brilliant, it's like they're real people. No, I'm saying like, it's really good for gameplay, which is more important, obviously. But the thing is if you do not have someone in line of sight, they are less likely to attack you, like they'll be less aggressive. And that's just to keep it from you, it's just to keep you from being slammed, you know, all the time.
Yeah.
And the big advantage to this is it actually calculates it based on what you see, as opposed to like where your character is facing.
Right. So if like there's a huge crowd, you could just turn away and be like, you don't exist.
Yeah, and normally it's not that helpful, because, you know, if you don't turn the camera, you will only be able to, you know, move in a straight line, so you won't be able to like sneak past them or anything. So it doesn't give you any advantage that way. Also, I just realized I have my mic boost way too high because this is on another profile. I'm sorry, I've probably been clipping all over the place. Whoop. Okay, that should sound better and way less clippy. Dang it, guys, you need to yell at me about stuff like that. But yeah, so you can literally just like look the other way. That's all it takes. You just look away from an enemy, and they will magically not bother you. No! How dare you? You are being owned for that. Give me that belt, you motherfucker.
Eat that goddamn belt.
Oh my god.
That's huge shit.
I can't believe this. But yeah, so you can just like, while you're running straight forward, turn your, turn your camera to face a wall and run in a straight line past them. So you're like, the camera is pointing to your right and you run straight forward. And if you're not looking at anybody, they will kind of not notice you, which is lovely. So you can slip by a lot more enemies. There's still a little bit of an element of RNG, but it's not nearly as severe. Also, look at that, dancing on these birds, dancing on these firemen. God, this is the best power in the game.
Suplex in this game was great.
It's so good. I wish it wasn't so bad.
I think my favorites for this game were probably Plasma, Mirror, and Yo-Yo.
Yo-Yo is excellent, and also Yo-Yo
really
does an incredible amount of damage. That's one reason I love it. It's actually really good. On top of being just super simplistic to use. Hold on to my suplex. Don't you dare accidentally get this hammer, you shit. Alright. Hammer and suplex. But yeah, suplex is excellent just because, my god, the animations and everything are just so chunky with it.
Sounds meaty.
Everything about it feels like you are just actually kicking an ass pretty hard. Just in general, that's something this game does really well. I think it was Drac who, on his Twitter, had been posting animations from this game. Oh, please tell me I got bird. No. But just like posting the animation frames and stuff from this game, and kind of showing that, like, man, if you didn't know this was part of it, you would think this just looks like shit. And then people started like kind of sending in drawings of individual really weird motion blurred frames. It was pretty funny. But yeah, because like all the frames in this game just look ridiculous out of context because they're animated like cartoons instead of animated like, you know, a thing, which is correct. That is why it looks so good, is because everything is done to style. And that's the thing we lose a lot in, the, like, I don't want to say, you know, like in modern games, but 3D
like
models,
when you go to 3D,
yeah, is a lot of
you can't really
times
do it unless you do a lot of extra work. I think the best looking 3D game to kind of do that animation thing was Guilty Gear Xrd, I think. Because they have like 4 separate shaders just to make it look like the old sprites.
Nice.
But they're fully 3D models. They're just animated at a lower frame rate, so it lets them do a lot of cool tricks. But it looks so good.
Yeah. And I think another really good example recently that kind of highlights just how sometimes animation just looks way better is, of course, and again, gross fan servicey shit, whatever, I don't care. Fucking Skullgirls looks really good in motion. Always. That game just always looks really good. And I am completely unashamed in saying that that game is good as hell and looks good. Everything about its animations are fantastic. And
fighting games in general,
they have to.
Nice.
There was one, God, I can't remember which Street Fighter it was. I think it was one of the 3D ones, but I don't think it was 4. People posted, like, just like very slowed down parts of the motions, and one of them was Sagat. And Sagat during one of his, like, tiger kicks or something, and it looks so ludicrous. Like, his arm becomes like a god, or his leg becomes like a fucking elastic band and bends around his body.
And this is like a recent Street Fighter game?
It's like recent-ish, I think, yeah. But the thing is like, it looks ridiculous when you slow it down, but in motion, it just has so much weight behind it, and it just feels so chunky. But like, God, it looks good when you're playing, but it looks ridiculous, and it just kind of goes to show that, like, hey, yo, sometimes there are more important things than just strictly being realistic. But yeah, it just gives a much mightier hit behind it. It'd be like if they tried to animate Dalsum, like, you know, like, accurately. It'd be like, really?
Oh, God.
Yeah, exactly. Also, a thing a lot of people don't know about Hammer in this game, because they don't, you know, play enough. Or because they never use it, which is probably more fair. Hammer actually has, it's the only power in the game that I know of that has a skill that does a huge amount of damage and is a projectile, but you lose the power when you use it.
Yeah, it's when you throw the hammer, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you get that in, what's it called? In Milky Way Wishes, and use it to completely fuck up every single boss.
Yup. I can't believe I missed the secret palace. Oh well. oh well. Welcome to Secrecy, G-Op. Oh no, people were complaining Rainbow Mika was not accurate? Really? Oh my. Not realistic?
Unrealistic.
Rainbow Mika? No way. No way.
But yeah, you know, Dalsum, that's fine. That guy's been in there from the start, but Stretchy and Dean Man, yep, that's cool.
In all fairness, Rainbow Mika, and I don't know if it is which one came first here, but a lot of her moves are basically, she is Beowulf from Skullgirls. Like, she has moves to, like, pump up the audience, and that's her super and stuff, and I'm like, yo, that is literally just, what the fuck? When did you learn that move? Holy shit, I've never seen that before.
Oh no, bonkers. I think Rainbow Mika, she was in the series since 3?
Yeah, no.
Or Alpha?
I don't think it was Third Strike, Alpha Third Strike, but
she always had kind of like that whole wrestler gimmick going on.
Yeah, but like, I mean, the whole pumping up the crowd as like her super and shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, oops. God, was she from Alpha 3? What am I thinking of where there was like the big fucking huge guy? There's like huge fucking largeman.
Which one? Q or Hugo?
Hugo.
That was Alpha 3, I believe. Or sorry, not Alpha, Third Strike.
Third Strike. God, I keep forgetting Alpha 3 and Third Strike are different games. Fuck you, Street Fighter. Just number them normally. I mean, you're not Kingdom Hearts bad, but like, I mean,
they're getting there.
They're getting there.
And yeah, Hugo's crossover from Final Fight, but they never really made any new Final Fight games since Streetwise, I think. And nobody really liked that one.
But yeah, Rainbow Mika, I mean, just mainly the whole pumping up the crowd as a super thing. Which, yeah, that was like, that is literally Beowulf, and it owns. Beowulf rules. Beowulf is a fucking awesome character. Holy shit. If you are not familiar with Beowulf and Skullgirls, he is excellent. I don't know if he's still free or not.
I know the Skullgirls devs, they're making a new game now.
Wait, who hates Beowulf? Who hates Beowulf, and how can I beat their face into dust? Where do I go to stuff them in a locker? Cause Beowulf rules. The creator of Skullgirls hates Beowulf? What a shit. Sorry, everyone can't be a titty.
Like, was this a joke? Are you sure he wasn't just joking, saying, "Oh god, I hate Beowulf, he's not a girl," or what's...
Well, Big Band is the best character anyway. As far as
god, I fucking love Big Band just for the one super where you get to play your own song.
Yes.
I've never actually played the game, but I've seen videos of it, and that's probably my favorite thing.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I main Philia, but that's just because I love her playstyle, and it feels really good. It feels good owning scrubs with Philia. But yeah, Beowulf is excellent. He won the voting, was kind of a joke because he was so hated by some of the staff. Beowulf rules though, oh my god, and he's fun to play too, like you have to manage your chair. That's a major mechanic when you're playing Beowulf. Like, you have a chair that you use, and if you have deployed your chair, it changes your moveset, and also your blocks aren't 100% if you don't have your chair.
Because, oh no, my chair meter's empty.
Yeah, you're a pro wrestler, so, like, you use your chair. Like, it's a legit part of his mechanic, is his chair. It's just beyond excellent.
Chair is called hurting? Okay, that's pretty good.
The chair is called hurting, I forgot about that, yeah. Which, I mean, yeah, I know they were it should be hrunting, but, or however you pronounce it, but, yeah. Also, one of his supers is actually pulling out, well, oh god, I see, again, this is one of those too, where his super even, I think, or no, the super is always the same, 120-inch Python, but he pulls out, Grendel's arm, or Grendel's son's arm, which is awesome. So he just pulls out this big fucking arm and just slams people with it. Oh, and it's so good. And it also just feels chunky, and I also definitely fucked up that treasure. Oh well. But yeah, Beowulf is just like constantly, I don't want to say puns because they're not puns, but it's just like kind of jokey references to Beowulf, like the book. I'm glad we've gotten to that point in gaming where we can make like jokes about classical literature. Oh man. And yeah, it's like, he's really good. Peacock would be great if she wasn't such an annoying character. To play against, I mean, not like design. Her design's pretty great. She's literally just a fucking, like, I don't know what year, but old school Disney character, basically. Like, old school Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's great. She just pulls fucking cartoon cannons out of where the fuck ever and just kind of blows shit up. It's fantastic. And then, of course, the other character I really like, Sarabella, unfortunately, is quite fan-servicey, but she's just like a circus performer in a magic hat that happens to have big fucking huge fuck-off arms on it that she uses to dunk people. And she is exceptional.
Yeah, I think the character designs, unfortunately, are the one thing that kind of kept me off of the game.
It kept a lot of people off of the game, and it sucks because it's fucking awesome. It's the best fighting game right now. If you disagree, I'm sorry, but it's like just super fun to play. And the other thing that keeps a lot of people off, and it's weird, and I don't understand this line of thinking, but I know some people who otherwise usually have pretty okay game opinions, is the tutorial is a little intimidating because it actually explains how to play a fucking fighting game. And I know
they're complaining about that?
Yeah, there are people who are like, oh, I just wanted to button mash and have fun. I'm like, you still can do that. They're like, well, but now I know. I'm like, well, then just fucking don't do it then, man. Like, but yeah, there are people who are like upset because they're like, oh, well, now I'm like scared and I couldn't finish the tutorial because turns out fighting games are hard. And they like couldn't get a move off or something. Yeah, it's a really bad reason, but welcome to that.
I would want people to tell me about a fighting game. Fuck.
Your thoughts like about Time Travel Dude and Isaac? I don't know what that is.
Time Travel Dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
Is that like a new Skullgirls character or something?
No, I think the last one's Mecha Fortune. Oh, it is one of them?
But, like, did he win, or did
he
just...
I think it was one of them that probably didn't win. Because there were quite a few of those. Yeah, no, I wasn't that into Skullgirls. I didn't pick it up until way after all was said and done with it. Just because, yeah, it was kind of same boat for me. I'm like, good, a gross fighting game. And then it turned out to be exceptional. I was like, yeah, no, it was designed by a bunch of pro fighting game players, so it's really good.
They had a shit ton of problems during the development of the game as well. Like they had, I think they originally published with Konami, but they'd fucked them over royally. And that's why it's not like Skullgirls anymore, but Skullgirls Endless Beta or something, whatever.
Well, there's two different builds. Like one is just Skullgirls, and then one is, yeah, Skullgirls Endless Beta, which is just, that's the one that they update stuff and like release new characters early and stuff, but that's the one where essentially they'll do, like you'll have two of them on Steam, two instances.
Yeah.
And
just
one
like
is,
the stable and the beta version, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, but it's more like for balancing stuff because they're constantly balancing the game. Like there is a balance patch every fucking week, and there has been for like years. It is confusing how many updates they've put out for that game. Like, holy shit, talk about dev support for a game. I still don't know if it overtakes Toby, though.
Has Toby slept yet? He needs to sleep.
Toby, go to bed. Toby, if I know you're not, but if you for some reason see this, go to bed. Go to bed, Toby. Good night, Toby. Go to bed.
He needs to sleep.
He actually released a thing today where apparently he found a glitch that some people in Korea were having. Specifically, which was just Game Maker didn't like them having Korean characters in their name, and for some reason that made it not reference a music file properly.
Right.
Because that's the only solution I see. Obviously. In all fairness, illegal character stuff is pretty common. But either way,
yeah,
that's just ridiculous to me.
And I don't know if he's still fixed the one issue with those events that you currently can't see.
I don't know if that was actually broken. That's... I don't know if Toby's being a slyboy or not.
Yeah, but I think at this point it could be kind of either way, because it's literally you just change a single character in the file and then that fixes it.
Is there a secret point to copy? Basically, yeah, it's for if you are playing co-op, the other person then can just be a also Kirby.
Also, you can use it in Milky Way Wishes before you get any other powers.
You sure can. That's the other big thing for it. I fucked that up. Also, in case you did not know, Jet does a lot of damage. Jet is pretty good. Well, it does turn them into the thing, but it also, they have the ability to discard the power and turn back into tack, which is kind of what makes it so special. But yeah, one thing that's important about Kirby Superstar is just the quality of sounds. Sound quality, animation quality, just across the board is just fantastic. It's really one of the things that makes the game hold up so well. And
yeah, I love this little sequence with the RPG fight, whatever you want to call it.
But this is definitely just one of those games that I do think is going to hold up basically forever. It just does everything it sets out to do so excellently. And everything is fun to play. Every power is viable. Some are more so. There's a lot of things that are kind of nice too. Like, for example, this castle is probably the hardest part of the game. You don't have to do it. You can just move right along.
I don't think even getting the money in here, does that change the ending or anything, or no?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I can't remember, but I don't think finding every treasure really does anything.
Yeah.
Also, the jet dunk, although rare and kind of pointless, is fantastic.
Just grab someone, shove them into your exhaust port, turn it on.
There's the bird switch. Don't forget the bird button. Oh, good. A power we have not used yet, and it's terrible. Oh, come on.
Yeah, Ninja is really weird.
It's really bad, too. I have tried so many different ways to make Ninja good, and have determined it cannot be.
It sucks for range damage. The melee damage is not great, and the
also
grab
the
is
range
okay.
The range of the melee is like none.
Yeah, it's 0.
And like all of its special stuff, like sticking to walls, it turns out mostly just inconvenient.
Kirby can fly. Why do you need to stick to walls?
Exactly, and it's never like, oh man, it's so much faster or something. It's just kind of always bad. And the little explode thing doesn't mitigate damage. So, it's just super terrible.
Suplex thing is basically the only nice thing about it.
And again, it's kind of fun, but it's not terribly useful.
Yeah, it falls into the problem where you're just using the one ability anyway, so why not just use a different power?
Well, I got Jet back, so...
Yeah, Jet Boys.
Jet Boys. Jet is so good. Also, I mean, I say shockingly, with the biggest finger quotes on the planet, it is the speedrun move of choice. Oh.
It's weird.
Can't imagine that the one where you can just repeatedly dash at the air through ridiculous speeds is good for speedruns. Get out of here, damn it. That's me yelling. Ah.
I'm hit.
Yeah, that's always such an odd choice.
The matter-of-fact death message. I'm hit.
And speaking of powers that aren't that interesting, but are super well designed, the Ice Kirby design is super cute. And on top of that, the noises for him doing an ice are excellent. All the time. I love these noises. Just all of them. Just every noise in this set is so good.
That's one issue a lot of the NES Kirby had. A lot of the powers were effectively the same thing, just with kind of different...
Like shot
Like,
patterns.
I know Ice and Spark were pretty much the same thing, except one turned them into the ice block and the other one didn't.
Yeah.
There was the fireball, and then there was the flame power-up, which only shot a short-range fire or flamethrower, so it's
The weird thing is, I have played so little of the NES one that I remember Kirby's Dreamland 2 more extensively. For
I never played any
Game Boy.
I never really played any of the post Game Boy or post original Dreamland Game Boy games.
That was the one I played a ton of. You get to hang out with a hamster.
Hey, it's Master Hand.
Yeah. Also the boss of Wario Land 3, I think? Which is a bad game. In case you were wondering. Also, I'm pretty sure they changed this one to look considerably less racist in the DS one. Oops.
I didn't know they actually changed this one.
I believe so. Or, I don't know if it was they changed both, or if they just changed it in, like, True Arena to look like Master Hand or something. I think they did change both. Okay, someone said they did, I'm sure. Okay. Please, Wham Bam Rock, you're being ridiculous right now. Nope, 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 nope.
Yeah, they just changed them to kind of a more stone idol sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Instead of a racist character. Got him. Yeah, and they gave him like a crystal version. That's what I remember. Now to get the fuck out of here.
It's nice that they gave you the tomato even though you don't need it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, if you cross yourself, yeah, I guess you might need it, but...
If you decide to get out of the cart. Like a fucking dolt, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, this game is a joy co-op too. One thing I wish they would put in a lot more Kirby games is like, I get there's kind of, you know, like it's sort of a little brother mode thing going on, but at the same time, I would appreciate just 2 Kirbys.
Yeah.
Have it just be straight up 2 Kirbys, the shared life pool or something. Yeah. So, Revenge of Magnite. Magnite. Revenge of Magnite. I think this is... never mind. It's definitely the second hardest, because Milky Way Wishes gets really tricky. There's just shit you can do. Also, this is the one... I think it's the only one with the time limit in the game.
Yep. Which is still really generous anyways, but...
Oh god, yeah. No, I don't
It's
think
a chill game.
Yeah, I don't think you can even get close. Also, I do love how this whole thing is framed, which is basically like these dudes are just like hanging out in their ship. I don't even know if they're even really doing anything. And Kirby just kind of shows up and they're like, oh fuck, get him out of here. Get him out of here!
And I think this one, there's one boss that has the one power-up you cannot get anywhere else in the game. The Chameleon boss gets you the paint power-up.
That one, I think, is also in... I want to say that one's in the Great Cave Offensive 2, maybe? But it's in, like, a different area. Or it might be... Is that one in, Milky Way Wishes? Somewhere? I don't know, actually. But yeah, paint is very rare in this game. Which is a shame, because it's charming. But it might be so charming because it is so rare.
Can we just go back a second and say how fucked up it was that there was a bird that spawned in the water and just drowned when it started to exist?
Never
Like, it didn't fall in from above, it definitely just spawned in there.
Go, my minion. Just throw your body into him. I'm sure it'll be fine. This is a good strategy you are using. Just sit next to him and guard and just deal contact damage like an idiot. He is in the castle in Great Cave Offensive. Okay, I thought so. And in Milky Way Wishes. Okay.
So I think that when you eat in Milky Way Wishes, it still gives you the power since it's not like a... You can't get it otherwise.
I'm an idiot. I think in Great Cave Offensive you can eat him, but I think Milky Way Wishes you might have to use copy.
Oh, that might be right, yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of depth to this game that doesn't have nearly enough game for the money. Says people who think dollar-to-hour ratio is anything other than the dumbest fucking thing they've ever heard. I mean, okay, dollar-to-hour ratio is valid if you spend $60 and a game is 2 hours long. Then, yeah. Okay, I understand being pissed, even if it was pretty good. It's like, But I would rather pay, you know, $60 for 10 really fucking good hours than 70 miserable ones. Speaking of games that look good as hell, yo, you seen Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5?
Yeah, I have seen it.
Holy shit, what a fucking game, man.
You know, my favorite part of the old Tony Hawk games was when you went through the half pipe and just kind of stared out into the camera.
My favorite part is when Tony jumps and then just floats off into space. And
That's why they call him the Birdman.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing though, is like Skate 3, even though it was glitchy as hell, was still a pretty okay game. This one is terrible. This is irredeemably bad. Like, people couldn't even get it to start. I want to say it was Griffin McElroy who, like, his first tweet is like, alright, wasn't able to finish the tutorial, and then after not finishing the tutorial, the game will now not go past the THQ or Activision logo or whatever.
I think someone mentioned that it was literally, they didn't even have the game, like, on the disc. They did a day one patch that added the rest of the game functions, like campaign and everything.
That is correct. The original release, the thing you got if you bought the game, was like 4.3 gigabytes, I think, and then the day one patch was 7.7 gigabytes, aka it was the actual game. All it had on the original release was the tutorial and the like park builder that didn't even work. Yeah.
I mean, it worked. It's just you had a chance of falling into the infinite void when you tried to do an ollie.
Mm-hmm. Also, it looks like shit. It looks like a really bad, broken game that, like, with bad graphics, that they tried really, really hard to cover up with excessive cell shading, and it didn't work. You can't just you're not Jet Grind Radio. You can't just put cell shading wherever, man. It looks like a really super terrible, like, iOS game, basically. Where to make up for the complete lack of, you know, ability to make things look good, they just slap cell shading all over it.
It's a style.
Yeah, it's a stylistic choice. A style of looking like butt. Yeah, I do miss when Tony Hawk games were good. I mean, the
only one I really played was 3, but I really like that one.
There were only 2 correct characters to play, in general, and the 2 most important characters were Bob Burnquist and Kareem Campbell. Why would you be playing anyone but those guys? They own.
I think the PC version of Tony Hawk 3 had the Doom guy as one of the secret characters.
Oh gosh.
And I know there were a bunch of like console specific, and I think one of them you could play as Spider-Man because that was Neversoft at the time. They owned the license for it.
Yeah. Oops, threw that
a bunch of weird stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna die here in just a second. There's a lot of very odd ones. Yes, that was one of them. One God, now I can't even remember all of them. But yeah, they were really weird console exclusives. It wasn't like Soul Calibur, where, holy shit, talk about getting gypped. I am so sorry, Xbox. Getting fucking Spawn? Spawn?
Yeah.
Spawn?
That's all we got. You know, everyone's favorite mid-90s anti-hero Spawn.
Oh my god. One of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games I remember had Boba Fett, and that one was awesome because he could use his jetpack.
Really?
Yeah?
I don't remember Boba Fett. Wow.
You could get Boba Fett air. It's true. I played the N64 version a lot of the first game, and then I realized how bad it was compared to the other one. And it was solely for one reason. Like, it would have probably been a better game if it wasn't for the fact that the music samples were like... They were like 30 seconds of the song instead of the full song.
Yeah, N64 did not do full-length audio files very well.
No, it did not.
Or storage space in general, for that matter. Cartridges were tiny.
Yeah, that was the other thing is, yeah, Todd McFarlane made another one of the really bad characters in that Soul Calibur game that came after we all agreed Soul Calibur games were like, it's okay, we can be done with those.
I think Necrid was in 2, right?
Was it? I think that was...
Yeah, he was definitely in 2. I remember playing
2?
it on the GameCube.
Okay. Well, GameCube
like every
also
version
had
got
3.
Necrid. Yeah, he might have been in 3 too.
Because 3 is when Link came out.
No, 3 was 2. Or, sorry, 3 was 2, fuck. Link was in 2.
Oh, it's Django Fett and Tony Hawk. Oh, I'm sorry!
But yeah, Link was in
no, keep saying Link came out. It's funnier this way.
Link came out, yeah, in Soul Calibur 2. And I think that was the last one that people agreed was the last of the good Soul Calibur games, and then 3 kind of started getting worse and worse.
What was the one where you could design your own man? Because you can always tell when a game series is probably getting bad when they let you, like, in earnest design your own character.
That started in 3, I believe.
That would explain it, yeah. You can always
But it also had that one bug where your save file was completely fucked up if you... I don't remember what the exact criteria was, but it was like a known issue that never got fixed. And it would just completely fuck over your save data.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think the worst game to have a save bug like that, there's like 2 games I can think of off the top of my head. Like 999 apparently had a really bad one.
I remember hearing about that.
And Ni no Kuni, which is another game I've never played and will never play. But
I didn't know about that one.
The art looks fine. Yeah, apparently there was like a room early on, and apparently the part that was really the kicker of it was the room that taught you how to play, or how to save.
Oh.
It was the room that was like, here's how you save. You can save this way. And actually, if you saved there, it would corrupt your save. So, like, you could save there, but your save would be broken.
Someone in chat is bringing up the Beautiful Joe demo disc. Did you hear about that one?
Yeah, isn't that the one where if you saved in the Beautiful Joe demo, it just fucked up your entire memory card?
It wiped it entirely.
Holy shit, that
completely. I remember that happened, and they had to actually give people free games because, like, they had completely fucked up their entire memory cards. Like, everybody who got that demo.
Ni no Kuni is one of those games that I would love to enjoy or play, but first of all, it's PS3 only, which I don't have or really have interest in having at this point. And bigger issue is that on top of that, it also is like 1 million goddamn hours long. And yeah, no thanks. I don't have time for that. God, why is fucking Ninja so trash? Please, just die already. Give me any other power. Yeah, get him, Biospark. Good suplex, the other trash one for fighting bosses.
Oh god.
Oh, and I got bomb. God, hell ass.
I'm sorry, suplex is the daring, adventurous power-up for fighting bosses?
That's true. Level 5 is hot garbage, maybe, except for one of the games they made that is one of the best games, which is Dark Cloud 2. Dark Cloud 2 is better than your favorite game. Probably. Dark Cloud 2 fucking rules. That game is awesome. I need to finish it. Because I'm pretty close to the end.
I think they did the Professor Layton games too, right? Level 5.
I think so. It would definitely make sense because the art styles are very similar. Also, by the way, reasons Yo-Yo is the best. Because you just get disgusting invuln frames from that move. It's also probably the single hardest move to do in the game. Because it actually requires, like, not complex button inputs, but, like, more difficult than just a direction and a button. You have to hit down, up, and then attack.
Yeah, you basically got to do a little guile flash kick there.
Yeah, it's one of the few sequence input moves instead of just combination.
By the way, did I mention this game owns, partially because each move, each power has a lot of moves for it.
Yeah, Yo-Yo is really good for that. It's got the grab, it's got the spin, it's got the
dash
flash
spin,
kick thing.
which
You
is
can
not
swing
great.
in any direction. So good.
Dragon Quest VIII, I remember liking. That could also be one of those situational, like, I like it because of where I was in my life when I played it and who I was playing it with. But I remember enjoying Dragon Quest VIII. I also remember it being way too long. You've never seen the yo-yo pull move? Yeah, it's down up. Here, let me show. I actually haven't shown that. I keep forgetting to.
Move list.
Yeah, there's move lists. If you pause and it kind of shows, there's all the different things. Yeah, the gazer spiral is down, up, and then Y. So it's oh, I'm by a ladder. Yeah, apparently way too long is Dragon Quest in general. Especially the one that we will never get. Apparently the MMO one is, like, really charming. But whatever, it's an MMO, so I don't care.
I think the problem is that the first time I really played a Dragon Quest game was 8, and that was around the point where I started to get tired of kind of more traditional Japanese RPGs.
Yeah.
Where it's just like menu-based combat.
Well, I mean, and Dragon Quest RPGs are about as, you know, traditional as you can get. Especially given that that one was pretty unforgiving. Like, you could actually get your ass kicked in the first couple dungeons pretty easily.
So I never really got into the series as a result of that, and from what I've seen, like, all the other entries pretty much seem the same thing, just with nicer or worse graphics, depending on... I think there was that Monsters spin-off, which is kind of like Pokemon, but...
Yeah, I was in, like, a section of an LP for that. It was basically just Pokemon.
But yeah, I don't know. It's not my thing.
I would like to see Dragon Quest VIII re-released with save points in reasonable places.
Yeah, that's another problem. That it had that whole classic design where, oh, you died, you lose an hour of progress, or whenever your last save point was.
Yup,
have fun with that.
Again, it was not forgiving. Particularly because some of the dungeons were very long. More games need to just suck it the fuck up and get a Mario or like some kind of system where, like, if you die, you keep the experience. That way, eventually, you will get through things.
Yeah.
That's a good system. Please do it more.
Hey, Ty, you want to know a game that does that? Super Mario RPG. Whoa!
Really? Oh, man. You mean the best game ever made?
Weird.
Weird that the greatest game ever made also makes that choice correctly.
I don't remember if you mentioned, did you ever try that ROM hack Voice of Dog was talking about?
I played it for that tiny bit of time on Smite stream.
Oh. It's not good.
No, it's not. Apparently it's way worse too than from when he played it, because it's gone through like a bunch of revisions. And so what did they do? Oh, they made it harder.
Like, imagine an optional boss fight that takes 40 minutes. And this isn't because the guy is under-leveled. He's doing 9,999 every hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's about what... He basically wanted to make the game Final Fantasy. Which, weirdly enough, you could just go and play Final Fantasy. If you wanted to play Final Fantasy.
I love when I get the death blow by getting hit by them.
Yeah, because you do a little bit of contact damage.
Uh-huh. So also you get that thing of, you just saw the lobster fucking blowing up as Kirby just recoiled in pain with a dumb fucking look on his face, and I love it. I was like, oh my god!
The moment he realizes that he's fighting a giant robot lobster. Wait, what?
Oh my god, what am I doing? Also, secret room. If you didn't know, you can hide in the clouds. Literally. A lot of people have never seen this. However, you do have to fight bosses.
Oh, that's difficult.
However, yeah. There's that.
You have to fight bosses, which is to say, get your chef power up.
Exactly. Unfortunately, it is pretty tough to keep chef for an extended period of time because you have to do this part.
Gee up, you've never played Superstar? What?
What? Oh man, this game is really good, and it's pretty quick. Like, I mean, I am through a good portion of it. Also, it's co-op, and I can do net play on this. I know the ways. Also, some parts.
Yeah, it's a very quick game. Like, a cousin and I, whenever we met up for quite a while, a thing to do with an afternoon was just clear all of Superstar.
Yep. But the speedruns are ridiculously impressive, especially if they do like 100% of the Great Cave Offensive. And they do a lot of tricks that you would never expect. It's one of those games where the difficulty curve can become really, really sharp if you're trying to actually like rush.
It's a game that is easy to play and difficult to master.
Yeah. Also, if you just run face first into everything. No, damn it. I accidentally lost Cook without using it. But yeah, no, this game's really fun. There's like a bunch of powers. They're all pretty different. Everybody has their favorites. Because how could you not? There's like a billion secrets. And yeah, it's... Instead of being like one huge game, it's a lot of vignettes. Oh no, my hidden tomatoes! You idiot! Why would you hide tomatoes? And then the fucking Waddle Dee in the background. Yo, those look like good-ass tomatoes, man.
Look at all those tomatoes. It's a tomato, another tomato with an M on it, a stack of pancakes and pudding.
Yeah.
Look at all those tomatoes.
Mmm, that flan tomato looks good as shit. Also, I love if you accidentally...
Tomato pancakes, the next generation of breakfast technology.
Also, yeah, never forget when you get a health power-up. Do not forget to smooch your bro. Also, this puzzle boss. No, stop aiming at Capsule. Capsule J! No, that doesn't work. Capsule J. You maroon.
Well, it works, it doesn't help. Well, it helps and works, but it doesn't complete the... We are on a timer, Capsule J.
Alright, so how this boss works is that you need to make it shoot itself. Like that. That's it. So basically just float in front of the core. Until that vibrates. It is quite easy if you don't get too close. I don't know if any of its attacks can even hit you. Also, I love that when the reactor is damaged, it makes all the wheelies escape. Oh no, our ship that was powered by sentient tires.
Powered by wheels that turn themselves.
Also, I just love the little stories from them too. Just like, guys, we fucked up. It's all over. We got an abandoned ship. What happened? The ship's going down. What? Kirby. Oh, not again. Also, I love that they were totally right. Like, Kirby just kind of like shows up out of nowhere and they're like, oh fuck, get him off the ship. And then he just is like,
he's gonna blow it up. Fuck off.
and then he just comes back and they're like, oh god, get him off the ship before he destroys everything. And then he does. Like, I love that they even say specifically in the one cutscene, they're like, why the fuck is he going towards the engine room? Is he lost? And then you blow up the engine and they're like, Jesus Christ! What is wrong with him? He's a monster! Hi! No!
He is the pink devil consuming.
How can he cut the power? He's adorable.
Oh.
Why did Kirby attack the ship in the first place? You felt like it, man. Fuck you. That's why.
Why does Kirby do anything? He just does.
You can't just
Adventure.
hold Kirby accountable for shit. It's like saying it to a dog.
Kirby is in a constant state of being the rebel force. It doesn't matter what they believe in or anything. He just, whoever has the power and has the military might, he must destroy them. That's just Kirby, man. That's how he is. If someone gets a Metal Gear or a Combat Lobster, he must destroy them. It's just his way.
He will try his best to eat it, and if he can't, he'll blow it up.
Also, you hid tomatoes on your giant flying war machine.
That is also a foolish thing. Never hide snacks on your Metal Gear. Wait, Kirby, no, stop, no! I like, they're like crying, they're like, you can't go any farther, stop, please! No! Too late! My god, I can't believe Kirby Superstar is a sequel to or a prequel to Undertale's Genocide Run. Kirby just mercilessly walking through this ship, just fucking slaughtering everybody. Also, yeah, the music in this game is always on point. That's another thing. I'm one of the people who thinks the SNES, on the whole, the music wasn't very good. The sound chip was kind of all over the place because it had so much versatility. It was way better than the Genesis's, which only had one mode, which was trash. But, at the very least, this one had issues where, like, you could use, like, orchestral samples you could put in and shit, and they never really worked. So, I don't know, this was a generation of, like, only the devs really understood how the chips worked well. Also, yeah, if you wait long enough, Meta Knight's just like, fine, you don't want the sword, I get it! So, now I'm gonna fight him with a yo-yo. And by the way, by fight, I mean decimate.
Yeah. It's not really a fair fight when you don't use the sword.
Nope, it really is not. Especially because you can just fucking jump up into his down stab. But yeah, there are a couple games that do it really well. Obviously, Super Mario RPG's music is incredible. This game's music are incredible. Super Mario World is incredible. There's a lot of games with really good music. It's just like the sound chip on the whole by itself was not great. It took a lot of work to make it do good shit.
Yeah, I think where Genesis was really easy just to sound bad, the Super Nintendo games are really easy to sound mediocre.
Exactly.
Because there was like this default horn sound that they kind of used in a bunch of not very good games, and you'd hear it all the time, like, yeah, these guys clearly didn't care.
I mean, the thing too is it was hard to sound exceptionally bad, which is one reason Super Godzilla is such a fucking treasure. is because Super Godzilla sounds terrible in a way no other game managed. Best sound chip of the early ones. I mean, it's more about the sound fonts, honestly, because like SNES had a lot of ones that really stand out, like Earthbound. Obviously, Earthbound sounds great. No other SNES game sounded like Earthbound because no one else even tried to slightly use the same sound font. Same with this game. It had a very unique sound font. Super Mario RPG is another one that just very unique sound font. NES sounds really good on average. Like even pretty bad songs on the NES sound passable. The original Game Boy was pretty solid. That's one a lot of chiptune people use. That was the original one that had the... Oh god, what's the name of the program? I have it, I'm just spacing the name of it.
For which one, Game Boy?
Yeah, the Game Boy, the program for chiptuning.
LSDJ?
LSDJ, yeah. And that was like the first major chip tuning thing, and the Game Boy had an amazing sound chip, which was great because it was like, you know, I mean, quite frankly, terrible speakers, which is why so many people, like, if you see what chip tuners do, they have the Game Boy, and then they mod it to have a really, really nice headphone jack, and then they also use LSDJ so they can just program in whatever.
Yep, people use that shit at music festivals and just live compose chiptunes. A buddy of mine is into that. He's got some friends who do that.
Yeah, it's really good.
And they got one for Nintendo as well called Family Tracker. I played around with that for arranging sounds or arranging songs in NES kind of. Well, no, it is like the NES hardware.
What's your favorite planet here? Hot, wet, cloud.
Yeah, booger.
Mechanisms.
Yeah, metal. Orb. Grass. No, my favorite planet is nondescript star. Because only a fool would not start with nondescript star.
It's the crime planet. This is where all the crime lives.
It is literally the crime invisible hideout crime planet. And
the planet safe house.
Yup. And this is how you break Milky Way Wishes really early on. If you don't feel like dealing with the gimmick. Oddly enough, it's actually a little tough to get through. Because it turns out the tag guys, if you don't have a partner, they're bastards. They just run up to you and just like throw their hand at you and they'll jump to meet you in the air and shit. They are just rude. But you get copy, which effectively eliminates the entire gimmick of Milky Way Wishes. Which is you can start on any planet in any order. Also, copy, if something doesn't have a power, is ludicrously dangerous, which is great. It does insane amounts of damage. Also, are you ready for me to get stuck in Floria for like 20 minutes?
God, the whole Four Seasons maze.
Seasons, how?
But yeah, so the whole gimmick of this mode is that you can pause and you get a entire list of every copy ability, and you can just choose them at any point. Like, for instance, if I hit X, I could just switch to copy at any time. And you need to find the, like, I think they call them, like, power source or something for it.
The deluxe power-up, yeah.
Yeah, or, like, deluxe powers, yeah. Something like that. I think that actually is it. But, yeah, and once you have the power deluxe source mode, you then can just immediately pull it out whenever. But you can't copy abilities normally. Like, even if you suck in an enemy that would normally... Whoops! I threw myself down a pit. If you did absorb an enemy that would normally have a power, you just don't get anything like that. It just says, no good. No good. So, the only way to get powers is by doing the DX fountains.
Like, if they would have done Amazing Mirror like this, I think it would have been a good game.
Yeah, I mean, that works with the Metroidvania idea.
Because part of the problem was that, you know, your abilities were temporary. If you wanted to get something else, you had to replace it. So if you didn't know what that ability was, you had to spend all this time backtracking, looking around for the one that you needed to progress, and it wasn't very fun.
Oh my god, these tigers. These fucking bandana tigers. My god. I'm a little not focused. Oh, come on!
Bears.
Jesus. Alright, fine. I'll play your game.
He didn't even stick around to fight you, he literally just sat around and ran.
And then there was that fucking bird that just came over and just kicked me in the dick and then left.
Yeah.
And then that tiger that just threw himself to his death. Another brutal thing about Milky Way Wishes, and it only comes up if you have copy, if a power jumps out of you, you cannot get it back. Thank goodness that chicken turned into a delicious beverage.
Strangely not diluted by falling into the water.
No. Well, it's chicken drink.
I guess the viscosity of chicken is different from the water, so it stays solid.
Not only regular chicken, it's green chicken. Damn it! I keep spawning into rooms where I'm getting hit! Why is this happening? This is not a thing in this game. Also, yeah, so if you haven't caught it yet, this area is a little bit of a maze. And I, despite having played through this game probably legitimately over 50 times at this point, I never remember how to get through it. Because I'm a fucking dumbass. So yeah, so that's our first ability. So I can just hit X, cycle through my abilities, and hit A, and pick whichever one of them I have.
Fight forever now.
So I now have Fighter just on tap. Okay, so you can only get through that part if you're in winter. Fucking Four Seasons maze. You can get through this top part of this tree. And then you can go through here, and there's snow. Okay. Yeah, so at any point now I can just boop, boop, boop. And it's really nice because if you're playing two-player, the second player can also do this. And now I am stuck in Hell Maze again. Fuck the seasons, oh my god.
Oh no. Oh no.
There's only one season,
landscape.
And it's me giving it an ass kicking. Luckily I have Fighter again, which is a nice mix of mobility and ass kicking. And I have to remember how to get down.
I think copy might hit down below a little bit.
I can just use the tiny kick.
Oh, yeah, that works.
Oh, good, I got grapes. Uppercut grapes.
Leave that ice cold leg of chicken though for someone else.
Mm. God, I love the uppercut so much. The uppercut is, God damn you, bird. Fucking uppercut the shit out of that plasma, man. You son of a bitch. Also, yeah, the attacks become literally just a non-issue entirely. But yeah, if you can't tell, Fighter is really good. Also, it's a lot of fun because you have, if you tap, just like a short tap, or if you tap repeatedly, you get a little like Vulcan punch, and if you do a big press, it does that. And it does the same thing for your kicks. Big press in the air is that tiny, it's just a little boop. And you'll actually bounce off dudes if you do that one, so that one's pretty handy. Then there's uppercut. And there's like one other move I'm forgetting, but we can just look. If I go into it.
It's grab, I think.
Yeah, I think it's got a grab. Yep, there's a grab. And then if you grab, and you can throw behind you as well. Is this the path I was forgetting? Have I been a complete knob this whole time? Well, I mean, yes, but have I been a knob who also was lost for no reason?
I don't think you got to that spot before. It's just that you weren't quite getting through the barriers yet.
Oh, there it was. Damn it. That's fine, this is fine. It's this one. There we go. Good, the one I really will never use. But now I have it. In case I ever decide to not use it. At some other time.
I think the most important ones are fire, cutter, and hammer.
Those are the ones that let you get into areas, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, in case you were wondering, yes, every single area, or every single planet of Milky Way Wishes ends with a boss fight. But, Wispy Woods is completely owned by Fighter, because you can do that. Did I mention the uppercut is exceptional? It's just really good.
Very good.
There's like never a time that you don't want to be uppercutting. And you don't have to do them in order. You can go straight to Booger Planet.
Hop into the boog zone. I also like the names of the planets. Floria, Cavios, Hot Coldman.
Also, if you were wondering, if you copy one of the bosses, I don't know if it's just him since he doesn't really technically have a copy value, but a lot of them will just give you whatever random fucking power. They'll just pull a roulette. Because while they are alive, they do not have a copy value. Also, another nice thing is you can tell what powers are going to be in what, you know, sections of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can tell, okay, I get it, Yo-Yo is somewhere around here. Also, apparently you can absorb your abilities again if it's specifically one you've already used.
Yeah, I think for any stars that you've dropped, you can always get those back. And for anything that does not have a deluxe ability pickup can also be eaten.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can get Crash and Mike and all that stuff.
Cutter is one of those abilities that's like really disappointing because the distance is really bad. And you can do a trick where you throw it and then jump over it so it just kind of goes behind you. But there are other things you can do instead that don't require you to stand still and turn your back to your enemy and jump. That are much easier to execute. But Cutter has a really strong melee ability. Oops, that was not my intention, but I will do it anyway.
If you ever wonder where Kirby learned how to use that combo, that's where it was.
Mm-hmm. Also, another thing I have not shown enough is that Kirby's Fat Boy run is exceptional. I love when Kirby is a fat boy. He's hilarious.
I love my fat pink son.
I refuse to not suplex for at least a little bit. I refuse to not suplex.
The great thing about Milky Way is you go get copy, and then you give yourself a copy buddy, and then your buddy is essentially a second you.
Yep. Yep, you just never have to worry about that. And the other nice thing is that you can just respawn them whenever. Like, there's zero cost to respawning them if it's not like a copied ability you're using, if it's an actual, like, deluxe ability fountain. Because you just make them again, and then also you still have your power. Get stomped on. I'm gonna try and win this fight with suplex. I will tell you this much though. It's incredibly fucking hard.
The only thing you can suplex are the little Roxy drops, right?
Yup, and you can do the dive kick, which is
Yeah,
okay.
you have the tiny dive kick.
Which has literally no angle. Also, when you suplex, you have to make sure you suplex the correct way, or else you will do nothing. Come on. Ah, God. Oh, I thought I had him. I wasn't sure. I wasn't really watching the health. Yeah, it's really, really, really fucking hard to beat a boss. That one in particular is really gross, because there's no real things you can, like, pull off.
Yeah. Also, it's constantly flying around and disappearing and reappearing. It sucks.
Also, the Milky Way Wishes versions of each boss, this is the hardest. They usually will have the most health, do a little more damage, all that shit. To compensate for you having unlimited power. Also, Wham Bang Rock is just a tough boss, because it will just kind of bump into you. It's not tough if you're not being a nut.
Counter his punch with a bigger punch.
Exactly.
If they're throwing shit at you, punch it.
Also there, good. I managed to trade for the last hit. And in my continued trials of playing everything incorrectly, let's go to Sky High, which is definitely a motherfucker. Cloud levels, dude. Cloud levels. AKA levels with the most wind and fall downy points. You can fall down the most of them. Also, is it this one? No. I know you can go in one of these birdhouses. I swear to God. And yeah, I mean, if you want, you can actually, like, look around and search and get every power and shit. That is kind of one of those things. This game can be played very quickly. You also can spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, the other ones... Great Cave Offensive is the only one that really takes some time if you're doing 100% run.
Yeah.
And this one, obviously. Everything else is not too long.
Dynablade, there's the 2 hidden switch palaces, but like, I'm honestly amazed I missed one in Dynablade. I just completely wasn't thinking about it. It's literally just you step on a button and then you move on. Oh, I found bird and a bottle baby. A baby bottle. Baby bottle for me. A baby.
Birds and donuts.
Also, hell yeah, bird time. Bird is
the donuts.
Bird is the second fastest. Next to only dog, which is reasonable because nothing is faster than a dog.
It's true.
I somehow did not get the invincibility. God damn it. I can't believe I didn't get the invincibility.
That is some frame perfect mistakes there.
That was yeah, that is an incredible mistake. That was incredibly accurate. So let us continue in our adventure of using the worst power possible against bosses and use Bird to fight the lightning cloud. Oh, Jesus. This is a really... Wait, no, that's Bomb. There we go, hell yeah. Oh god, this is a terrible plan. Oh, I have 0 lives. I should maybe not do this. Oops. Help her, please. Whew. Gone with my eye beams.
There's a reason it's called Waddle Do and not Waddle Don't.
Waddle, get that shit done. Oh, I wonder if you guys can hear me breaking my neck, which is cool and fun.
I heard a little tap.
Yeah. Let's go to the sun, because that's a reasonable place to go.
Hot beat.
Oh my god.
The other sun. Not the one that is currently fighting the moon. The spare sun.
The actual sun, not the one that's not actually a sun at all. The sun, the one that is in fact actually a sun. Oh my god, I hate this place.
Doesn't help that your partner's fucking up the camera.
Yes. Yes, blame it all on him. None of this is my fault.
It's cool, there's candy.
I would agree, my favorite planet is also the sun. Can I get through the whole thing in time? No, I fucked it up. No, get out of here. No, get out of here. No, I want the tomato. No, get out of here. Ah. Help, I'm floating towards the sun. The sun of nothing. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna be fine. Bird. Fine, I'll use the fucking trolley. Basically the only reason not use a trolley is I'm pretty sure it locks off one of the powers, and I think that actually might have literally just been the one I used, is the one that locks you off.
Whoops.
Whoops.
I'm pretty sure one of these is a trap. Yeah, this one I'm in right now. This is the trap.
But you can just come back from the other side. Then you can also fuck it up from the other side, I believe. If you're so inclined.
Do it. Fuck it up. Yeah.
Don't worry, buddy, I did. Oh my god, I am so bad at fire today! Oh my god, I have run into every obstacle. This is beyond incredible. I could not be playing more Jesus Christ. Fucking hell.
It's cool, we got that one up.
The nice thing is I am slowly but surely owning myself to the exit. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a damage boost.
Yeah, constant string of damage. This is gonna fuck up the RNG. Thankfully, the game is merciful and gives you some iframes out of the cannon, so you do not immediately take damage if you fuck these shots up.
Yeah. Also, this planet is full of tomatoes.
It is. And here is the chameleon. You know, the chameleon in the sun? You know that old classic, that old story?
The folktale, I love that one.
The chameleon in the sun.
Legend says that if you put on your Cyclops goggles and scan it just right, you'll get covered in paint.
Also, I still think that this effect is charming, and I'm not sure how they pulled it off. But it looks good. But yeah, this is where you can get paint if you absorb his orbs. It will give you paint, and it makes him not invisible, I believe.
Yep. Also does a shitload of damage.
And it does a shitload of damage. Now, to the metal planet.
Mechai.
Yeah, planet Mechon. Blah blah blah, the Mechon, blah blah blah. Man, talk about a game that fucking burnt me out. Damn.
It is so fucking long. Like, I'd say 3 times longer than it needed to be.
Yeah, there were so many points in that game. Like, apparently I was not even halfway through, which I find fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, it is stupid how long the game is.
Yeah, and so much of it I was like, oh, I get it. It's a single player MMO. Jesus. No, I have friends. Please, I don't need this.
Yeah, just because you get fast travel doesn't make it great. I mean, the gameplay was nice, but the story was nothing special. And yeah, the side quest stuff just got way out of hand.
I'm in the group that thinks the gameplay wasn't that good.
You were a fan?
No, not at all. But again, reminder, MMOs and me, not.
Yeah. I think the other problem is, like, you're really limited as to what you get until later on. Oh yeah, yo-yo.
Yup, that's why I came here, fucking yo-yo source.
I want to be a yo-yo man, he cried. Make me a yo-yo
Make
man.
me a yo-yo man, but the yo-yo master did not answer. He just kept on yoing.
What is that even from? Like, did they find what video that's
I did find it. I was the one who, I was quite excited. It was like a how to yo-yo video from the fucking 90s. And that's why it's so awesome, is it's like this, it's great because it's this old ass man who's like basically the CEO or something of this like toy company, and then this like world champion yo-yoer. And he just has him fucking show him how to yo-yo.
So the old guy is the CEO of the company that produced the video?
Yeah. It's amazing. Or it's like something like that, yeah, and oh my god, it's so good. That whole video, but it's like this old guy like trying to do comedy and be like a nice personable actor. And then fucking holy shit, yeah, that opening cutscene of this yo-yo instructional video is so unbelievably good. Oh my god.
See the actual thing.
Yeah, we gotta find that again, holy shit. Make me a yo-yo man, he cried, but the yo-yo man did not answer. He just kept on yoing.
That's fucked up.
Oh my god. It's too real, man.
No, I've never felt so spurned and yet determined by somebody playing you with yo-yos.
You see the yo-yo master, you feel determined.
Oh yeah, plasma. Love that plasma.
The best ability in every game, as far as being busted.
Turns Kirby into a Goku.
Yup. Turns Kirby into a Goku who can also just have a damage shield.
Yep.
So you can just do this,
An active damage shield.
That's what I mean, is you can just fucking... Like here's how you win the game with plasma. Yeah, come get some, motherfucker. Want some of this? Come get it, shitbag.
Maddie's saying, well, this is in no way broken.
Yup, nope, plasma's super broken. The way plasma works is... I can just show it to you. Oh. So basically you move the control pad to like build up static, basically. Is kind of the idea. So with nothing, you just shoot a tiny little needle. A little bit it's an arrow, a bit more it's a spark, and then a high amount you do like a weight, like a cool thing, and then, yeah, then you just do a spirit bomb. So it's like, spark is nothing. This is just if you mash Y, like a little bit, so like, maybe like 2 quick inputs, and you'll shoot the arrow, which is pretty good. And once you get pretty quick at it, you can just do those constantly. And then the spark, oh, sorry. Spark is that one. Spark is terrible. You almost never want to use spark. That one's pretty good. That's the cannon. It's like a ring needle or something. Special beam cannon, basically. And then, yeah, the final one is the way it's the spirit bomb. Also, it sounds amazing.
And the best part is you can charge it up while you're blocking.
You can, so yeah, you can just hold down the
You
button
do not
and
have
keep
to
moving.
take any damage.
He does not have a Rasengan. You're right. Thank you, Maddie, for bringing up more Bort.
Bort wasn't out yet, so I think that's fair. Oh, we found the Yo-Yo Man video. Nice.
Oh, this fool, he used his flamethrower and knocked me into him. You idiot.
The Smother Brothers, what?
Yeah, it's the Smothers Brothers.
Oh, I'm gonna watch this afterwards.
I mean, a lot of it is just yo-yo instructional. But then there are the parts that are not. And they are good. And yeah, Half Moon with one of the best songs in the game. And the very... I don't know if I would say it's like... For me at least, it's like the most perfectly Kirby like percussion track in general, where it's like very frantic.
Yeah, it is the most Kirby sounding Kirby of all Kirbys.
Especially, yeah, the percussion track in general. It's kind of got like this...
That whole...
Yeah, it's like kind of like got a bass. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like a couple, like, it'd be like very heavy floor toms going very quickly. I'm not sure exactly, but it's fantastic, yeah. Also, these star parts are pretty great, because the whole gimmick behind them is it's kind of like partially invisible walls, and you can tell where you can go through and where you can't, but it's kind of tricky. And obviously there is a ton of shit hidden in this area, if you know where. Also, that's what happens if— oh my god, I'm getting crocoed.
They're gnawing your face off. It's
Help,
fucked up.
I'm owned, help. Oh, there's one of them. Yeah, so you can see the little gap in the stars. That means you can go there. Oh yeah, and there's just a fucking entire moon. It actually looks like a Death Star. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Just embedded down there.
I mean, the sun, or the sky's full of celestial bodies already. I mean, there's the sun, the moon, the other sun.
Yeah.
You know, why not shove a moon in the planet?
I mean, yeah, we already have... Yeah, there's so much shit in this game. Why not? Just more stars. That's the other thing, is Kirby's aesthetic has never really made sense. It's just kind of whatever. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but they just kind of plop whatever wherever.
It's fantastic for the sake of being fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad thing.
All right, let's fight 2 bosses at once. How am I gonna get through this one? Oh no, shit! He has a grab move.
Yeah, they can actually grab you. Yeah.
My God.
Getting roasted.
You are so owned, young man. And now you're dead. Oh no. She has no interest in the pot. How do I defeat an enemy with no interest in the pot? Oh no, she's immune to slide kicks. Oh wow, I think I may have actually found a way to render... Nope, okay, there we go. That's how you do it. I was trying to figure out, I'm like, how the fuck would you even get rid of Cook? You have to catch one of her stars mid-punch.
You fucking cooked the star.
Yup.
It was tiny when you did it, though. It looked fun.
Yeah. Yeah, what?
I'm just gonna cook this little tiny little star nug.
Yeah, I would say Earthbound, but I remember the yo-yo isn't actually good in Earthbound. Like, the bats are all better.
Yeah, yo-yo misses a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yo-yos are pretty good in Terraria.
Terraria is one of those games that I would like to get into, but it seems like the time investment is too much.
It's not too bad as long as you are not playing on expert mode. Don't play expert mode. It's not worth it.
Hmm.
Because I tried that thinking, oh, this is cool. There's going to be some new items for me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Smite was talking about that. Apparently, too, it like scales based on number of players, but it does a really bad job of it.
Yeah, it's not meant really for people. Like, the way they advertised it was that, oh, finally a challenge for those who have played everything in the game and want to see more, because, you know, there are exclusive item drops in that mode, and you would think, oh, this is going to be cool. No. Most of the drops aren't worth using, and the bosses just become stupid, like, to the point of being unfun, so...
They become damage sinky, is what I understand.
Yeah, just...
Like, Smite said apparently, like, I don't know if he ran out of time, or just ran out of giving a fuck at all.
Yeah.
But he ran out of something. When he had like 8 or 9 people on it, he's like, yeah, it would have taken us like 6.5 hours.
Yeah, because you need to kill bosses in a certain amount of time, otherwise they just despawn or kill you instantly.
That's what it was.
Then
yeah,
despawn.
That's what he was saying, is it was like literally impossible because of that.
Yep. Like the base game itself is fine, it's just don't ever play on expert mode. And yeah, the other problem is that in multiplayer there's limited resources.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you have people spreading out enough that like everybody can kind of get their own vein or whatever to mine out of, then you're going to have that issue where like eventually everybody has completely hollowed out the starting area and there's nothing left to pick up.
Well, fine, if you're gonna be a piece of shit dragon, I'll just spawn me and another yo-yo buddy, and you're about to get yo'd on.
Kirby said nothing.
God, Plasma is so busted. I forget, and then I remember, oh, here's the other high damage skill in the game. It does 46 instead of like 78 when I use Plasma just by myself. God, Plasma is busted. So yeah, that's the upgraded version of the RPG fight. And if you watch like speedrunners play this game, it's fucking awesome, because a big part of it, I can't remember what section of the game it is, but one of them, they will literally just be like mashing the controller for the entire game at one point, to the point that they get exhausted. Because they're just like mashing for Plasma just for like an hour. It's amazing.
Oh, so they use Plasma in the speedrun strategies.
They do use it for part of it, yeah. So you just watch these men violently vibrate their controller. Yeah, the 100% speedrun of this game is pretty neat, and they do some kind of goofy stuff. But I mean, yeah, even just whenever you're falling through the air, just fucking on your way down, just mash directions. Why not? Yeah, if I could remember where Hammer was, that would be pretty high on the priority list, would be grabbing Hammer. Just because it's so broken. And, like, it's more broken than Plasma. Because you just do what is essentially a one-hit kill move as much as you want.
But I mean,
you're supposed to
it's
sacrifice
Kirby.
your power. Yeah, I mean, but again, yeah, it's Kirby. It's whatever. If you complain about Kirby being too easy, just like, fuck you.
It's not very difficult to break a game even without Hammer, so just do whatever you like, have fun.
Have fun. In a game? Bullshit. Yeah, it's a nice chill platformer. Everything controls really well. The level design is really good.
Yeah, that's the big one, that like it's really easy to control this game, which is part of why it's going to age so well. Because Mario Brothers is one of those games that everybody seems to love, but the original one didn't have very good controls. It's extremely important in the fact that it pretty much revived the entire gaming industry, but
it did a genre
standards
as well. Like, it kind of was the first to do a genre very well.
But it wouldn't be really... It has not aged very well.
Yeah, I only know how bad Mario 1 is. Oh, I'm not gonna go find Hammer. I mean, I really don't care is the thing. I'm just kind of cash playing. And by cash playing, I mean like I have this planet and then we're done. We have the bit after. Yes, the fighting man gives you sword. Because of course he does. Yeah, I kind of do want to play Pac-Land at some point, but it's on some nonsense system. And I have no interest in dealing with that.
Pac-Land, I've very briefly heard of that.
Yeah, it's not good. The best thing to come out of Pac-Land is one of my favorite levels in Smash Bros. Wii, Smash 4 or whatever. Whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Smash for you.
Yeah.
Smash, except the A is the number 4.
There's a Pac-Land level and it's fucking awesome because it's an auto-scroller and people are so bad at it. It is unbelievable how shitty people are at this, honestly, fairly simple level.
Was that in the Wii version?
No, I don't think so. Because it's Pac-Man.
Okay.
Also, what the fuck? Why am I having trouble? I have lost my way. Do I need to kill these guys? Oh my god, what am I doing? Help, game for babies.
There's a door out in the water.
I thought so, but I keep walking
Bottom
past
right
it, I guess.
corner-ish?
Yeah, it's like at the very bottom.
Okay, yeah, no, I was like, I swear, oh god, I just kept going past it.
Although I don't remember if you have to go here to beat it.
I think so. I think this is the maze you have to get through. Oh god, what's up here? Cool, power I will also never use. One power I really like in Return to Dreamland, that I hope makes it into like every other Kirby game, is water. Water is a blast to use. Also, it makes being underwater tolerable, because all it does is take the little blow bubbles in a direction attack and make it like 50 times longer. No, the flapjacks are a trick. I know about the flapjack
spitting
trick.
water while underwater wouldn't be very effective, but here we are.
Yeah, but it makes that like super huge and dangerous. Also, you surf on water and shit, it's pretty great. Oh, I almost got the full stab. It's really fun to do. You can just kind of bounce backwards on him if you don't mess up. And because like you can, I think you can get it with no like frames of being able to be damaged. But if you do the down stab, you can start the next one before you can be hurt again.
Fine, Waylon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Duff McWhalen.
God.
What? Are you talking shit about my man? Duff McWhalen?
Was that X5 or X6?
Oh, that's X5, buddy.
Okay, X5 I think was actually kind of decent, but X6 is where...
X5 is passable, with a few exceptions. It's not good. But it is considerably more passable. X6 is intolerably bad.
Yep.
From beginning to end. X5 did have the amazing gimmick of everyone's named after like Guns N' Roses shit. Which is why you have Axl Rose and Duff McWhalen. Also, yeah, this is a great little cutscene. This little fucking goofball just jumps in front of you and is like, instead of wishing for the moon and the sun to stop fighting, I want to be God! I'm just like, what? I want to be God! Like,
Damn, this clown has intercepted our attempt to make a wish on the giant stopwatch.
If you don't even do anything on the title screen, that's the only way you would know about this guy to begin with. Because it literally does not mention him in the game at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who the fuck is Marx?
Yup, and he just kind of bumps in the way. And just, oh, make me God! What? Make me God! Are you crazy? Yes! Very! And now you get to do a shmup. The shmup having a helper is quite nice, and by that I mean it totally makes it, like, too easy. But yeah, your number one danger in the shmup section is bumping into shit.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a good time to read donation. No. It's not a terribly well-designed shmup or nothing, but like, it's just really novel, especially because it's like, up until this point, the game hasn't really done anything like super tricky or weird or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just kind of comes out of nowhere. It's
like the previous Kirby games kind of did something, like when you get the Dream Rod and then you start flying.
Fly through the air, yeah, and like swing and fight Nightmare and all that. Yeah, but this one is like really different.
Yeah, this one actually has like full-blown hazards and stuff to dodge and shit.
Okay, can I get the... Oh! Oh man, not gonna get the one cycle. Oh fuck, I might die here. Alright, next one has a thing to dodge, but... This is the hard one. Yup. That is the one that is utter horseshit if you have to do it backwards.
Yeah, it can be worthwhile to just leave one alive while you're going forward so that you can deal with that one without reversing.
Or yeah, if you have full health, you can just tank it. It's not really a big deal. Yeah, X5 has problems like the Izzy Stradlin level, I do believe. The one with the bat. I remember that level fucking sucking. It's just like random platforms falling out all over and spikes and bats appearing out of nowhere and it's just total ass.
Wasn't the whole gimmick with the whole parts you collected for the rocket ship? Didn't that end up just being random in the end anyways?
It just influenced the percent chances, yes. Also, best boss fight. Oh, it's so good. And
yeah,
the music.
X8 was okay.
Yeah, Dectalon really likes it, and I usually accept Dectalon's Mega Man opinions as pretty good.
I wouldn't say it was great, but it's definitely better than like X6, X7.
Well, X7 is like unplayably bad.
Yeah.
X8, a return to normal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think they're pretty much done with Mega Man at this point.
Yup, I can't blame them. Just because the fans are shitty. I don't think even if they did something good, it would matter.
Like when Mega Man Legends 3 got canceled, one of the first forum threads on the Capcom forums was, "Let's go burn down Capcom HQ."
Yeah.
That's a good way to get people to listen to you.
Also, yeah, Marx kind of fucked up for a Kirby enemy, but that's pretty standard for like endgame enemies in Kirby games.
Yeah, they always do that.
Yeah, the last boss is always some kind of weird, freaky space monster thing.
Mm-hmm. Whether it's Nightmare that just goes from being an orb to like a man whose insides are just the universe, and then O2, which is just like honestly one of the worst ones. It's just like a flying thing with a halo and a bloody eye.
This weird bleeding eyeball angel.
Yeah. And yeah, so now that the sun and the moon have stopped fighting, Kirby can sleep again, I guess. It's something like that. Look, it's Kirby. Stop asking so many questions. Thanks, Sakurai. Thanks for your best game. What the fuck is Smash? It sounds awful. And also, I think this is the only unskippable credit sequence in the game. Because this is, like, the final one.
The actual credits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the regular credits. Kirby credits are always adorable, though, so it's great that there's, like, 10 sets of them in this.
Mm-hmm. God, I'm trying to remember what... I think the worst part of the original, like, Kirby's Adventure, the secret last fight, was it was on a timer, but you didn't really notice unless you were paying attention to the background, because it turns out you flew up in the air, but you actually were falling back down to Earth the entire fight. So if you, like, managed to go too long, you would just slam into the ground and fucking die. That was pretty good. It's really good games, though. Chill, nice, fun. Also really good co-op. I love this game. I played it just way too many times, and we just added one more to the way too many chart. Just way too many plus one. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Kiyomi. Thanks,
like all the
Kensuke.
Japanese names and the one Jim.
Yeah, just Jim. Kensuke, Takao, Jeff, Ryuki. Also, I love the flustered ass project manager. The fucking Iwata. Just, oh.
Chilling at my desk.
Having a time. And that terrible looking Mario, because for some
weird
reason,
mustache Kirby. What are you doing
for
here?
some reason, they could never make Mario look good in a non-Mario game. I don't know why, but Mario always looks awful. With the exception of NBA Street Volume 3, in which Mario looks awesome and dunks on fucking LeBron James. And it's awesome. And I really need to play that game. And that is how you unlock the arena. Which I won't be doing, but I'll do Megaton Punch just to show it. Because it's just a little mini game. You can play with a friend. And you can play with Smite Online and be really unfair because you don't have any input delay and he does.
I love that Mario and Luigi are in the audience here and Mario's just constantly pudging Luigi in the nose.
Yup. Also, sometimes the computer can throw off your timing by like cutting everything out. But yeah. So this establishes that Kirby is in fact a force of fucking nature and can just split a planet in half.
Kirby, true martial arts master.
Yeah, I think a perfect one goes like almost all the way to the bottom of the planet. Yeah. There's that one, and then there's the one that's impossible on an emulator because the incredibly tiny amount of input lag is still too much. This one is really fun against friends, though, in person.
At 17 there, milliseconds.
Yeah. And on non-emulator, you can get much farther down, which the game expects you to at higher difficulties.
I want to say on the hardest difficulty, the last guy is like 3.
It's basically luck, yeah, at that point.
Maybe hundreds rather than thousands, but still, tiny fragments of a second.
Yeah. Like, I just got owned.
Maybe it's a frame counter.
I mean, it probably is counting, but yeah, it's very difficult. And an emulator that adds a bit of milliseconds of lag and a wireless controller and a monitor that is not lagless. All of these things add up to very quickly make this impossible on an emulator. It's fine enough. But yeah, if you want to fucking beat this on the highest difficulty, you have to feel it like that and just kind of estimate when you think it's going to happen. And like I pressed the button before it came up at that point.
You have to be a master swordsman.
Yep, nope, that's not not getting that one that twice in a row, and I would have had to have been more exactly ahead for the next one. But yeah, and then the arena is just a run through of every boss fight in the game. It is basically surprising nobody if you've played Smash Brothers. It is the Smash Brothers arena where you run through. It like
started here.
Yeah, a lot of stuff from Smash Bros came from here, which. Considering, you know, Sakurai and all that, not too surprising. One last thing to show off, I guess, a bit, just a second, is Gourmet Race. And Gourmet Race is just run and get
food
points.
Run.
Yup, just food race. And it has that classic Kirby tune.
Also, you move really fast in this one.
Yup, you move a good deal faster, and if you stay off of the, if you float, that's basically like you do not want to be floating, ever. It's kind of part of it.
Always run.
Yeah, when you're on the ground, you are a very fast boy.
Your ground running speed is better than his, and if you reach a ladder ever, you will climb that ladder faster than he can hover up the ladder.
Like, eventually his running speed will overtake you, but he maneuvers suboptimally. just like I did. And yeah, as soon as there's like vertical movement, he's very bad at that, unless if it is more than a hop. And sometimes he'll get stuck trying to get food that isn't there if you are ahead of him.
Yeah, there's no AI at work here. He's on a script.
Mm-hmm. Which, like, I mean, duh. But yeah, so that's basically Gourmet Race. It is what it is. It's another fun little diversion. And then this is where Gourmet Race gets good, when they finally give you access to the Go Fast powers, and then you inevitably screw yourself over way harder than you would have if you had just not taken them.
He's like, oh damn, I have a power now, I can do all kinds of it,
Like, oh wait, except they already give you such a ridiculous buff.
I have fucked up.
We're already too fast.
Mm-hmm. And you end up missing like a ton of the food because of it. But Jet is exceptional for this whole thing, because Jet just makes you maneuver better in the air. Which maneuvering better in the air means you can get to the ground faster. Yeah.
Gourmet Race.
Gourmet Race. In which I totally own. I own the hell out of DDD. And you get that kind of cute, sad DDD in the corner. And you get what sounds like the beat to a pretty fun ska song.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Pum, 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 pum.
Yeah. And then you can do the courses individually instead of doing the Grand Prix. But yeah, that's Kirby Superstar, man. It's pretty great. I've played it a lot. I will probably play it more at some point in the future when I'm having a bummer of a day. It's just a good, chill game.
Did you show off that the game operates both in stereo and monaural modes?
I did. I'm actively doing it. Can you hear the difference? No, probably not, because I don't think I broadcast in stereo. I hope I don't. If I've been doing that this whole time, my god, oops. Especially because I'm using like cardioid condenser microphones that should only be in front of me. Actually, yeah, let's check. Here, I got a good way to check this. Let me just force my voice over to the left. So if everybody suddenly hears me only on the left, and then hears me only on the right in the stream, then yes, I in fact am in stereo. Am I? Oh my god, that's amazing. Ah, that's awesome. Holy shit, I didn't know I could do that just at any time. Good, then that means I can also, you know, do one of these. Do one of those moves. Good. Yeah. Alright, so like...
Hail Satan.
Yeah. So, have a good night. I'll talk to you all later. Thanks for coming to the Patreon and all that. Have a good one.